I am a constitutional officer. I swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States first and foremost, and that me and several of the other sheriffs in the state, like most of us, and several state's attorneys, along with the Crawford County State's Attorney, have sent out these letters stating that we feel this law that has recently passed is unconstitutional, and how we do not want to, or how we are not going to enforce any of that law. So,
woke, progressive states' attorneys will not prosecute acts of gun violence in their counties. They'll call it mutual combat. Yet they will prosecute honest citizens who wish to exercise their constitutional right to keep and bear arms. And make no mistake about it, this new law infringes on the rights of honest citizens. It infringes their rights by preventing them from buying firearms that are legal in nearly every other state. It selectively applies our constitutional rights to certain citizens, but denies those rights to others. The new law essentially treats the Second Amendment like a privilege rather than a right, which is what it is. In our society, we don't provide the government a list of people who attend church or who are members of the local Rotary Club, because our Constitution gives us a right to freely assemble. We don't have to get permission from the government to exercise our rights, because to do so would contradict the very nature of what a right is. Honest citizens are not the ones causing gun violence. Stripping honest citizens of their rights won't solve the problem. More laws are not the solution. We must address the root cause of gun violence. We must help troubled youth get the mental health care they need, and we must, as a society, elevate and promote the family as the bedrock of who we are. Let's focus on real solutions, and let's stop infringing on the rights of honest citizens. Folks, our Second Amendment is not subject to a governor's political narrative or presidential aspirations. Thank you.
I'm Sheriff Brandon Francis from Jasper County. I don't have any fear from, not enforcing this. When I took my oath as sheriff, the second line in my oath was to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. I think we're all in agreement. There's several sheriffs that put out letters. In the majority of the state, I think it was around 90% of the sheriffs put out a statement stating that they would support the Constitution. So, obviously, there's discretion in which laws that we enforce, but a law that would be a violation of our constitutional rights is something that we would not enforce. I mean, that's, we don't commonly see that, but in this case, it's happened. So
this is obviously, we have some of the most stringent gun control laws in the nation, yet crime is still out of control in the city of Chicago, as I alluded to earlier. So if the Democrats want to come to me and say, let's talk about mental health, let's run a standalone bill, let's actually approach this as we rightfully should, I am completely open to that. But all too often, you might get a little bit of funding, some crumbs for funding that fall on some huge budget bill that we don't know what's in it. I sit on Appropriations General Services. I see the budget 1155 on an evening, and it just dropped at 1150. So if the Democrats are serious about gun control, if they're preventing gun violence, if they're serious about the root cause of this, then let's have a conversation. But actually coming into our counties and coming into the state of Illinois and stripping folks of their Second Amendment rights for a political narrative, it doesn't solve the problem. Well, we haven't had the opportunity to sit down because I don't think he wants to sit down and actually talk about meaningful reforms that will benefit the hardworking people of the state of Illinois. I tell him, stop worrying about a political narrative and your presidential aspirations and start being concerned about the Constitution. Pushed by the radical left in the state of Illinois. Listen, there's some Democrats, moderate Democrats, that are fed up with the repeal of parental notification. They're fed up with this new gun bill. We had Democrats vote no on this gun bill. So I think people of the state, even moderate Democrats, are starting to see that the radical left is taking it way too far.